Hello, my dear Tanya, and welcome to your Synastry composite relationship reading. We just were actually talking over here in my inbox about how you were starting to have doubts and you're not sure if you're or you were traumatized by your current situation. But I'm going to get to the bottom of that. We are going to talk about all the points here in this chart to let you know if this is permanent, karmic, if so, what is the purpose of the relationship and all that good stuff. So I'm going to point out the conjunctions. So this chart here is a representation of both of your energies together. His energies and his planets are on the outside, which are important because they let us know how they affect you. The main area we're focusing on is this area in the middle with the blue parts that are you and where he kicks in so we can get an idea of like what he triggered in you, what is the relationship, what is the past of this relationship and why do you feel like this about it. So I'm going to start actually over here with this Chiron conjunct Chiron. This pretty much means that you guys both have a similar wound that you're sort of healing with each other in regards to communication. Maybe there's something about you being able to say things to each other that you don't usually get to say to people, but it would clearly be some witty banter in some cases with things like here, like a similar awkwardness in some ways, just a feeling of familiarity, because this is like very indicative that you guys have a similar pain that you have to overcome in regards to being connected to other people or actually being able to be yourself. The next thing that I would mention here is this area over here. This is his moon, his feelings. His moon is in Leo, which connects him to your first house. He represents who you are, who you want to be, the identity that you are seeking in life. His feelings are a representation of that. And his Lilith, which means that what he is attracted to in women, the growl, the I guess his kink, so to speak, is in the way your mind works. Your Eros, which is your erotic, passionate energy, and your Mars, which is a representation of your passion and your drive, your femininity, in the sake of what you sort of chase after in this world, line right up with what his biggest kink is. So first off, this is letting me know this is an erotic, passionate sort of setup here based upon what he needs emotionally in his life. And honey, you are it based upon this part. And keep in mind, this part right here that he is interested in is based upon what you look like in your identity and your mind. And also because your Venus is here, even though this is in different signs, just who you are and what your goals and what you value, because that is working with your ascendant. Just he really is feeling you. So let's make sure that's out of the way. There is no issue that this is not the case. He really likes you. So in getting to where you guys are linking up from the past, his south node, where he's coming from, is in your community, your communications in your last life. So you might have lived in the same area last time. Based upon this, not necessarily together, but in this life, you are both learning to let go. In this case, it means you're learning about letting go of the belief system that you had in pursuit of your own happiness, would be really what this is. Because his Venus, the way he earns money, is in your eighth house. So that's I'm pretty much saying if he has a planet in your eighth house, especially like Venus, the sex would be pretty much mind blowing. I think that's actually sort of what the setup is here, because the way his mind works, his understanding of life and things conjuncts your part of fortune. This is your sprinkle, your luck. These are both in your eighth house of sex and life transforming experiences. His soulmate asteroid is in your ninth house of beliefs, along with where he's headed to. So everything about this relationship is just meant to change you, meant to change the way that you think about yourself sexually, your self-esteem in that area. This is sort of like a repair relationship. And I say that because his Pluto, his ability to transform, the transformation that he's going through in his life, is conjunct with your south node. So something about something you have already been through, a place that you've already been in your family, this could have to do with the other lives in your family where you pretty much had to give away everything in order for your family to thrive, which could be a pattern in this life for you. But that's what is meant to be changed here. Any past patterns you have of staying in a relationship where there were power struggles or sex issues or anything like that, and I know that's like a whole area there, but he's literally like his Pluto, his thing, like he's already been through or is going through or had to deal with something similar to what you're dealing with. And that is an area where you guys are linking up. Now, his Mars, his drive, his passion, how does that affect you? karmically. There is a karmic relationship that was meant to happen and is being activated. Can I do transits? I wish I could do transits. That is meant to be activated. Right now, the South Node is going through this area. That means you are seeing ripples of the past because you guys have unfinished business. This is Neptune, which is about karma. This is Uranus. This is about radical change. And keep in mind, his planets are out here. This is your radical change. This relationship is literally a catalyst, an affair, first and foremost, because this is the house of affairs, fun, relationship, flings, because that's important to note here. This is about sex. This is about passion. This is about realizing that you are allowed to have what you want, and it can be defined by your own terms. Maybe you don't want necessarily a husband. Maybe you like the idea of flings or seeing different people during different times. And his passion, what he enjoys is in your drive, in your work. Something about the fact that you are very independent sort of actually arouses him. Now, his son, which I find interesting, his identity reflects everything in your marriage house. Like he's the opposite of you in the weirdest way. Like he complements you in some ways. He would be I definitely say a great partner with this sort of setup here, but there's so many planets in this affair house here. This seems like it could possibly be a long-term relationship that didn't even have a title if you were willing to start to loosen up, I guess, because this is heavily karmic. This is heavily fated. And I'm going to actually look at the composite chart next because his Jupiter, which is expansion, is in your career. Something about the relief that he gives you from what you're dealing with at home helps you move towards the pioneer that you need to be in your career. So the next thing I'm going to look at here is a composite chart, which is what is the word I'm looking for? This damn Mercury in retrograde natally in my chart really fucks me up. So this next chart is energetic blueprint of what it looks like if you guys both had the energy together. Sort of your blueprint for the relationship, what's supposed to happen here now, because we don't have his time. We don't know what the path this relationship is taking, but I can look at the general idea. Now, you guys are meant to go from a partnership, sort of working together on something, to being independent, separate. So this for me feels like this relationship will have an end eventually. But it is going to change your thoughts on relationship, your ideas on sex, your limitations on sex. Also, the way that you guys think about value and luxury and things. I think this relationship is freeing you up to be yourself in a way you never knew before. This is about learning to finally speak your mind, not being apologetic about what you really want, knowing that you can have what you want in your partnership and you don't have to diminish yourself, and you can be sexually satisfied as you expand your mind and grow your business. You can have everything you want in one person. Now, how this will end, that definitely depends on your situations and what he does on his and all that. But know that this is something that was put in line for you guys to complete. You had unfinished business, and a lot of it is based upon you guys being in an area where you can't be together because this is Saturn and Sagittarius, which means a restriction on travel. But when that radical change, which is shown here, happens, there will be something that changes with your money and your income that really comes into alignment with your career. So I know you have reservations about moving and all that stuff, but there are so many things in your chart that say once you move and you really step into yourself, because it feels like you have a lot of cages around you, a lot of things that are stopping you from being who you need to be. And most of them are actually in your mind. And relieving those limitations and knowing that you can be free and have the life you dream of and still be an amazing mother and businesswoman is really what needs to be reconciled here. Less shame or less guilt. Like, this is your time. Embracing, my dear. So let me know if you have any questions, and thank you so much. This was dope.